Hello and welcome to episode 4 of our In the Hot Seat Football Manager Experiment series. In this video, we'll have a look at how current Spurs manager José Mourinho gets on as manager of Boston United. 10 seasons in, let's have a look. Right, let's check Boston United. So currently still in National League North, so whatever's happened, whether there's been any promotions, relegations, have cancelled each other out. So let's have a look at previous managers. So there's Jose at the bottom there. So actually, he's lasted quite a long while for him. 4 years, give or take a day. From the 1st of July 2019 at the start of the game until 2023. Let's just see, he's still clickable, so it must mean he is somewhere. But he's left his manager role, so does that mean he's gone somewhere else? Or could be that he's just come to the end of his contract? But let's take a look. So he finished in 22-23. So if we just take a look at the domestic leagues. So if we look at 19-20, so promotion first season, 82 points via the playoffs. Relegation from the National. Straight after, looks like another playoff win. So he's becoming the expert in the Vanarama North playoffs. And then his last season, 22-23, another relegation. So he's become a yo-yo manager between the Vanarama National and the Vanarama North. 2 promotions via the playoffs, but then 2 relegations immediately. And then ever since then, Boston have been mid-table-ish, couple of playoff campaigns in there, but no promotions. Let's have a look at those 2 seasons where they got to the playoffs. So if we take the first one, so he's obviously started off really, really well, defensively solid, not conceding more than a goal until the FA Cup fourth qualifying round. So we go through FA Trophy, continuing in there but losing out to Notts County. I'd imagine in front of quite a few, well, 1,600 at home, but yeah, 6,500 away. Bit of a tough time there, which probably cost them the league title. And beating York at home in the final after extra time. George Green scoring an extra time winner in front of 4,200 at York Street. The final game at York Street. If we skip forward, so it must have been a poor season to get relegated straight away. Yeah, that's had a horrible time. January, February. Yeah, not really put in any. There's only one real set of results together where he's won 3 in a row. So the next year was another promotion campaign. Plenty of wins in there, a few defeats, but several wins in there as well. And then beating FC United away in the playoff final, having beaten Stockport in the semi. Season after that, his final one, that looks absolutely diabolical. Had a good November, but a fairly okay August, so they started off pretty well. Bit of momentum from the season before, but that's about it really. No cup wins either by the looks of it if we go back. So the competitions, yeah, if we go back to the managers, yeah, no league wins, no cup wins, doesn't show you the playoff wins. So if we now just click on him, so he's actually current manager of Holland, which is very interesting. He's 66 years old now and still managing. Still got some good attributes in there. So if we look at his milestones, so there's his Boston career. It does seem to intertwine with his actual managerial job at Spurs. But so after United, so he left in 23. A year later, he takes over as manager of Belgium. And looking at that, he seems to leave Belgium having won the Euros. If we just have a quick look, go through. So he got knocked out by Peru in the World Cup second round in the 26 World Cup, so he must have taken over after the 24 Euros. Then in 2028 he wins the European Championship for Belgium, something they've been threatening to do for the last couple of tournaments, but in 2028 apparently Jose is their guy. And then 10 days later takes over as Holland manager, which was a year ago in game. And not a great start with them, but from Belgium to Holland, two neighbourly countries in Europe. But he seems to be doing all right. To go from Boston to Belgium, that's definitely a career progression, you would say. Let's have a look at some of the competitions. If we go back up to Vanarama North and then into the Premier League, so just recently Man City champions ahead of Manchester United. If we go through the past winners, so it's basically been Liverpool and City, mainly City, but then with Liverpool getting a couple, including the first one, and then Manchester United the previous season to what we are now. Arsenal coming in at third, Chelsea flirting with it in there as well, with a couple of second places, a couple of third places. Spurs coming on strong just recently. If we go back to the table, let's look at the clubs. So Bournemouth are now looking at qualifying for Europe. Brentford are in the Premier League. Let's just check out the Championship, look at the clubs that are down there. So Southampton back in the Premier League for next season. West Ham staying down, Sheffield United. Leeds still stuck down there. AFC Wimbledon in the Championship. Are they in their new ground? You would assume. Yeah, back at Plough Lane now. Definitely doing well. MK Dons up there. Peterborough finishing bottom of the Championship. If we go down to League One. Check, see if there's any big clubs down there. So Accrington are going to be in the Championship next season. Bolton still stuck down there. Sunderland still stuck down there. To League 2. If we check out the league table, Grimsby about to go back into League 1 where they were several years ago. Salford down there. York have come up a couple of leagues, having lost that first playoff final to Boston. Notts County back in the Football League. Swindon dropping out. Morecambe going to be back in non-league. Have a look at the Vanarama National. So Chorley are going to be a Football League team next season. South Shields are in there. That's a couple of leagues promotion for them in game. Port Vale stuck down. FC United, that's another couple of leagues promotion for them. Of course they lost the third season playoffs for them against Boston. And then Eton back in the National. Harrogate dropping out. Let's have a look at the Vanarama North. So Hereford champions, Kings Lynn in third, Boston in seventh. So they would have taken us part in the playoffs. So let's have a look and see how they got on. We need to jump forward to this season. Scroll down. Lost out to Curzon Ashton in the first round of the playoffs, because Curzon finished fourth. So we got Barrow down in the north, Tranmere back. That's a big drop from League 1 down to Vanarama North. Got Biggleswade in the north apparently, and here you've got Rushall Olympic have come up. Some big. I think Tranmere are the big losers out of all of this. Let's have a look at some European competitions. So United got their revenge for the Premier League by beating Man City in the Bernabeu. If we have a look at the past winners, so City again, they're quite successful in this. They got 3 Champions Leagues. Real Madrid in those first how many finals? So the first 6 finals they made it to, but only won 2 of them against Liverpool and PSG. So Liverpool haven't yet won it again. PSG have now won it twice. Barcelona have won it again. United beating Real Madrid in the Amsterdam Arena, the Johan Cruyff Arena as it is now. Stadion München is that Bayern's new Stadium. So that is basically the Allianz Arena, just given a generic name. So Barcelona won the Champions League against United in their own stadium. Okay, let's go down to the Europa League. So it looks like Liverpool have won that one this season. United won it as well. Spurs have won it a couple of times in 3 years. Norwich winning it in 28 in Stadion München. United won it in the Parc des Princes. Liverpool won it in Vienna. Spurs did it in Spain, and then the City of Manchester, the Etihad. Right, let's take a look at England. See who the manager has been. So they went from Gareth Southgate, who lasted for 7 years, so he actually lasted until July 24, and then he was replaced by Quique Sanchez Flores, who was in the job for almost 4 years. And then so far Luciano Spalletti, the Italian, has been in the job for almost a year. So if we just take a look at their fixtures over the years, so that first one is just qualifying. So let's have a look in Euro 2020. So lost in the final to Spain. World Cup qualifiers, it's a pretty good record, winning every single game. World Cup, losing out to Italy in the second round. That's quite disappointing. Although they did face Burkina Faso in the group stage. Newcomers to the World Cup by the looks of it. Championship qualifying. Oh, that's not good reading. Second round of the European Championship. So that looks to be when Gareth Southgate lost his job. Then got to the Nations League final against Italy, losing 3-1. Some World Cup qualifiers. And wow, there we go, England winning the World Cup with Quique Sanchez Flores in charge. Beating Brazil 1-0 in the final in the United States. Winning every single game, including beating Thailand 8-0. Sticking 4 past Morocco. Squeezing past Portugal, Cameroon, Argentina. The Swiss in the semis. But ultimately coming out on top. Some more perfect qualifying. Just a couple of goals conceded. European Championship struggling again. Quarter-final defeat to Portugal in Italy this time. So beating Bulgaria, losing to old foes Croatia. Austria draw, beating Sweden in a knockout stage. But then ultimately going out to Portugal, who missed Dele Alli. Some guy called Jim Ramsey, 24-year-old player at Manchester United. Comes through at Derby, cost Norwich 48.5 million, and then Manchester United paid 83 million for him. So we come through to this year, and then it's just World Cup qualifiers that they've started. Okay, so José Mourinho, his spell at Boston hasn't cost him his reputation. He's still loving life at the top now, with Belgium winning the European Championships. We've had a World Cup win for England in the United States. Pretty successful, I think. Join us next time and we'll see who the next big manager is of Boston United. Thank you very much for watching.